What's up, everyone? I am Stock Sniper Mike, and today I'm giving you the 2-minute drill. That's one full week of trading highlights in 2 minutes. And this week was the week of the offering. For those of you guys that don't know what a public offering is, it's when a stock sells additional shares on the market to make additional funds. And the company that needed to raise additional funds this week was your mother's favorite store, Bed Bath & Beyond. On Monday, they started with a big spike, spiking about 100% from 313 all the way to 703. It closed in the high sixes before announcing the bad news after hours and coming out with the offering. Bad news for short-term investors that are day traders, but good news for Bed Bath & Beyond as a company to try to save them from bankruptcy. They decided to sell an additional 1 billion shares to make additional money to help them out to hopefully avoid bankruptcy and closing down all the stores that they're closing down right now. And the stock continued to drop, falling all the way to 235 from a close of 708 on Monday. So a terrible week for Bed Bath & Beyond investors, but a better week if you are part of the company. We also had cannabis hemp related company HBCO. Gotta love the name. Hempacco. The name's just as sketchy as their website right here. They did just come out with news that they partnered with Snoop Dogg, but not too much going on with that news. The stock did spike a couple days after the news with Snoop Dogg, spiking a total of 400%. From 75 cents to 450. But with a company as bad as this one, why not create an offering and get some money for the actual company when the stock spikes like this? And that's exactly what happens. Remember, guys, the only time a stock makes money off of the stock market is when their initial public offering, their IPO, because they're selling shares to the market. So this offering gives these companies a second availability to sell more shares to the market. Now, when you sell more shares to the market, you make money as a company, but it devalues your company in the overall stock market because now there is more shares on the shelf to buy, and when there's more shares on the shelf to buy, the stock doesn't spike as fast. Hempacco fell all the way down from the 4s down to 140 close to close out the week. And it doesn't just happen with sketchy stocks. You also have larger listed stocks that come out with offerings as well. Not all offering causes a stock to panic the way that you just saw at Bed Bath & Beyond and Hempacco. We have Royal Caribbean that just came out with earnings, got a nice spike, breaking new 6-month highs, showing nice momentum, spiking from 64 all the way up to 76 multi-month highs, and then announcing that they're going to do an offering. It's not as large as an offering as these two companies, but it did cause the stock to lower. Royal Caribbean fell from 76 back down to 71 after the offering and was able to collect additional funds for the company. Sticking in the larger markets, the QQQ and the SPY almost remained unchanged throughout the week. We did get some excitement on Tuesday, and we got a nice spike in the markets when Powell came out and said that inflation is going to lower this year. So nice to hear it from Powell, and the stock market reacted to that. But after that, coming back down and pretty much remaining unchanged throughout Monday to Friday. We did have a couple larger stocks come out with earnings as well as lay off more workers. It seems to be hot news when you lay off workers now in the larger listed stocks. That seems to make the stock go up because now you have to pay less people, giving you more cash flow in a harder time like this. We had larger stocks like Zoom, ZM, spike 5%. After the news, we also had Disney spiking 5% plus. Everyone knows about Disney after the news. Speaking of Disney, one of my favorite rides, good old Splash Mountain shut down last month. I don't know if you guys have been on the ride, but it's a classic of Disney. Sad to see it go, and it'll definitely be a memory forever. And since we're off topic of stocks, we might as well talk about some current world events. Shout out to our man Lebron James for beating the all-time scoring record. Amazing to know that he was once a Miami Heat champion, and now he's leading his way and creating an all-time scoring leader. Now, let's not credit him for being the Miami Heat. You got to give him a big shout-out for every single year coming in and giving his all. That's exactly what being your best is about, and that's what you expect out of yourself day in and day out. It's awesome to have role models, and LeBron is definitely one. And over in California, you no longer have to be vaccinated to go to school. That officially pretty much shows that the vaccination and COVID times are over. With California loosening up the grip a little bit, they were once the tightest state. It seems to us that COVID is now in the past. Let me get a bang for that one.
Booyah!
I'm always forgetting about my bangs. So let me get another one.
Booyah!
Because now it's time for the fun stuff. Let's jump into our markets where the bread and butter and where the snipers make most of our money. And that's the OTC markets where the penny stocks usually hang out. And this week, the OTC market started a little strange. On Monday morning, a big group of OTC stocks did not open at the bell. You just had the level 2s moving as well as the bid and ask. So you had price action movement, but the charts did not open at all. So pretty sketchy to see that happen on Monday, when last week we just talked about the New York Stock Exchange halting as well to open up the day. So 2 weeks, 2 different halts, a little sketchy to me. We got to keep our eyes on this. It did open up at 11 a.m. Eastern, and the day did continue. And that's where we found the big spiker of the week. That's OTC Bitcoin related stock Humble. A lot of people know about Humble because they were once on CNBC and they were once at $7. That's back when Bitcoin was huge and this company was believed to be something. But we always say don't trust these stocks, and that's exactly what you should do, because this stock dropped all the way from the 7s down to below a penny. It actually became a sub penny last week, and when it came up to that penny spot this week, that's when we got interested in it. It spiked to a penny when it actually came out with news with NASCAR driver Joey Gase, because their logo is going to be very, very small on top of the NASCAR. I mean, I don't know if you guys have seen NASCAR, but you can barely see these logos that are on these NASCAR hoods. There are tons of different companies that are sponsoring them, and Humble is going to be one of them. A little strange, but it did make the company spike, and that's the great thing about OTC markets. You just have to be ready when things are hot. The company spiked above a penny, and then it was off to the races. The snipers took advantage of that move, making 15% in about an hour when it spiked above a penny, but it continued to spike the next day, and then the next day after that, for a total of 200% plus. The stock was able to go from 007 all the way to 214. But we always say, can't trust these stocks, because on Friday, it closed back at a penny. But it shows you the volatility and the potential out there in the markets. Great work, Sniper Team, on taking advantage of the Humble bag this week. Here are a couple stocks here that we're eyeing down for the upcoming week. We update a weekly watchers watch list every Monday on YouTube, as well on our website and the Sniper App Store. Hopefully you guys can take advantage of one of those stocks, and hopefully you guys enjoyed another 2-minute drill. I'll see you back here next week. Stock Sniper Mike.